giant show tonight. I've got lots on. We've got things to give away. Pick holders. These are very, very good pick holders. I love them. Little loop jobbies. We're going to talk about Black Caesar. We're going to talk about Valentine's Day. We're going to talk about coins. We're going to talk about errors. I'm going to give stuff away. I'm also going to tell you why I am in love with a piece of metal. So, welcome everyone. Lots and lots of people here. I can see the screen ticking along with comments everywhere. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I can't really... Here we go. We'll get it up here. Here we go. I'm a bit organised. So, lots and lots of people here on the YouTube, on the Facebook. Welcome all and sundry. So, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Hope we had a good Valentine's Day. Found lots and lots of things. It's amazing, actually. A lot of things have happened on Valentine's Day. So, yes. Now, I've got to get rid of me. That's the most important thing here. I've got tonight's picture. Right, let me just get this main... I don't know how I'm going to muck this up here. I can tell I'm going to muck this up. But... hang on, I'm back. I took the video off. But this picture I'm about to show you, the background picture, is from Debbie Davey. Fantastic old-timer bank. So let me just turn me off. The world will go quiet for a minute. And... how cool is that? A moment in silence, reflecting on a beautiful old bank that Debbie Davey took. So thank you very, very much, Debbie, for sending tonight's photo into the Gold Digger Nation, where, yes, you get your picture up behind me and you don't win a prize. But we have got prizes tonight. We've got these cool loops we're going to give away. All you need to do is make a comment to go into the draw. So if you're new here, make a comment, say g'day, and we've got the loop to give away and also fantastic little pick holders. So, yes. In further news, Oz AU from YouTube is telling us the International Space Station is passing over tonight. So it's appropriate that I've got a little bit of stars happening there. So yes. And Andrew Mason is correct. I constantly muck things up. So, yes, I do muck it up. I turned the sound off when I turned me off. You know, we'll live with that. Most people would appreciate that. Right, so tonight we got Black Caesar. We're going to talk about the switch to decimal currency. I learned a couple of things today about the switch from decimal company. In fact, we're going to jump straight into the switch to decimal company. So, Valentine's Day, 1966, bags closed. 4 days to change over all the machines, get the new coins in. Most of the 1 and 2 cent coins were made from recycled pennies. So the old pennies we find everywhere. Here's one here. I'm sure there's an old penny here. Were melted down and made into $1 and 2 cent coins. So that's where the metal came from. The good old penny. But there was a lot of talk about the change to decimal currency. A lot of talk about it throughout since Federation. A lot of prime ministers had a crack at it, but there was a competition run to name the new currency, okay? And some of the top names here, right, were Austral. We weren't going to have the dollar, Australian dollar. We were going to have the Austral, the Oz, the Boomer, The boomer would be a cracker, wouldn't it? The roo, kanga, emu, koala, digger. I like digger. Zach, a quid. I don't know why we call it a quid, but dinkum. So there's stacks and stacks of names. But let me just pull this up here, and we will get the one that actually made it. This is Menzies. Love this one. Let me just turn that off and select that and just sort this out here. So this is what it was going to be. It was going to be the Royal. So we're going to leave the English pounds, but still call the currency the Royal. So yes, so very, very fascinating. I never ever knew that about the Royal. We were going to have the Royal, and there's a couple of mock-ups of the banknotes there. So, but yeah, so it's very, very interesting. Now, big stuff, and that happened 14th of the 2nd, Valentine's Day, 1966. So that's why we're mentioning it tonight. Now, I do need to get over here, and I just want to show you guys something that happened because of last week's show. So I've got to get over to the nation here and show you and if you're not part of the Gold Digger Nation, you really, really should be part of the Gold Digger Nation, because if I can find, isn't this terrible? I can't even find Gold Digger Nation. I'll have to go searching for Gold Digger Nation. But if you're not part of Gold Digger Nation, there is lots of things going on over there, and if you can get over there and join up the nation, you and 2,500 people are having a great time over there. Very, very, with the moderators, we moderate it very, very heavily, so it's family friendly. There's lots of cool stuff there. There is no negative comments. If we see a negative comment, you're gone. No warnings, no nothing. Just the big old-fashioned boot. So I'm very good with the boot. Sometimes I need to be held back. So, right, now just finding this, I'm scrolling, I'm finding this, there's lots and lots of posts on there. But Lynn Dutch, as a result of, I don't know when I'll be able to find it. I don't know how long I'll be able to find it. Lynn Dutch had a fantastic story. She went on to Trove last week, after last week's show when we did our episode on Trove, and found all the details about her grandparents' wedding details. It was excellent reading. So if you get an opportunity, get over to Gold Digger Nations and read that post from Lynn. It was, here it is here, it was fantastic. It's quite a long post, but let's just get it here now. Lynn Dutch, this is it here. So, big long post, but I do want to draw you to it. This is from 3rd of August 1907, so this is before World War One, right? But it lists, which I found fascinating reading, down at the bottom here, it lists, right, in this section here, it lists all the presents, what everyone got. And, you know, you can sort of see who went cheap and who went dear. And I thought it was fascinating reading. So that's very, very good, Lynn. Well done. I'm glad that helped a little bit to find your, hang on a tick, where I haven't pushed the button to get you across here. Here it is here, down the bottom here. I've mucked it up again. 2 muck-ups for the night, if anyone's counting. But down the bottom here, it lists all the presents. So, yes. So go over there, have a squeeze at that. So Lynn's put a fantastic post up there. And, yeah, it's, yeah, I really enjoyed reading that, actually. So, well done, Lynn. So, that's cool. Righto. So, I'll bring that, David, he's also found the grandparents' wedding day on December 53. Tells about how the day was and who wore what. Yeah, there's some fascinating stuff that happens there. There's no doubt at all about that. So, yeah, very, very fascinating thing. So now we're going to have a look at some high value coins in a minute, but I just want to have a quick drink here because tonight's page is Sasquatch. So while we're doing the monitor share jobby thingy, we'll scratch across. Sasquatch, a very, very good page, small page. I've even color coded the mug with the page. I didn't do that on purpose. So you can go and get some drink bottles there. You can go over there. It's a really good page as well. So it's probably the second best page on Facebook after, of course, Gold Digger Nation. But, yeah. Right, so now I mentioned at the beginning of the show that I'm in love with a bit of metal, and it's true. I've recently fallen in love. In fact, at about 3:30 this afternoon, I fell in love. And this is it here. Does anyone know what this is? I better put my glasses back on. Can't see a thing. Anyone know what this is? This is a control valve for the plant. So I am very, very excited. So all the hydraulic drive stuff came in for the plant. Yes, so very, very exciting. It has been a long time, and yeah, I'm thrilled about that. Right, so now, what else have we got to talk about tonight? We can't go any further without talking about this. It seems like every week I need to get a little theme song to play when this comes on. The breaking news about this 6,000. I have a video to play for you, but so the new 6,000, right? They've just released last week. I've held the video back until just now. I've just spotted something there. Logan White. Logan, can you ring me tomorrow about that? About the Carrara free camp. We might see what's happening with that. But anyway, so 6,000. So I haven't released the video, so the video's coming out now. So we talk about the coils. We'll play the videos, then we'll come back to this and we'll talk about it, mate. Okay, so another teaser video, another sort of, thing video that sort of gives you a little bit but doesn't tell you a lot, right? So let's just break this down a little bit here. So the GPX 5,000 coils, I can confirm, 6,000 coils, I can confirm you can't use your old 5,000 coils on the 6,000 machine, okay? So the only coils you'll be able to use to start with are these three coils. So 11-inch coil, which is probably your standard gold hunting coil, right? Then there's the 17 by 14, I believe. I believe it's 14 wide. It's definitely 17 long, but I think it's 17-14 or 17-13 elliptical, which will be a deep. A coil that'll go punch very, very deep, and in a lot of places that'll be your go-to coil. So your 11 and your 17 by 13 or 17 by 14 will be your go-to coils. There's no doubt about that. But then there's a 14-inch. I believe it's the anti-interference coil that I don't believe the machine will come with, but it will be an added extra anti-interference. So if you're running high AMI, high salt areas, that will be the go. So yes. So now I suppose the wait is on to see what it'll be when they bring out aftermarket coils. You know, like Coiltech will probably bring one out. Nugget Finder will probably bring one out. So it's a real waiting game for that side of things. But so coils are waterproof to a metre. Okay, so waterproof to a metre, which means the machine's not waterproof like the SDC. Means it is probably showerproof. Yeah. So the results have been very, very good. I'm hoping to get my hands on one very, very shortly and have a run. So, yeah, absolutely. So, aftermarket coils, yes, for the Knox 800. Luke, there is. I'll just grab some questions while we're talking about this. There is coils, Coiltech coils for the aftermarket. Dollars. Someone asked price. Price will be between, I'm guessing, sort of between 7.5 and 8.5. Somewhere in the middle there, I would think. I can't tell you what the price is, but I reckon I'm in the ballpark there. Yeah, so I reckon that's, yeah. Right. So, Ben gave Sasquatch good quote. I did. It's a Sasquatch night for pages. So, you're it, Todd. Tagged you. Right. Now, let me just see if I can get any more information here. Any more questions? 6,000 is very, very good. Once they work out how to hack the chips, wait another 12 months for aftermarket coils. The reason they do that is because MineLab, well, I'm guessing, but MineLab make a coil to suit the machine the best they possibly can. Now, I don't know why then, 12 months later, Nugget Finder, for instance, with the 7, well, it wasn't 12 months, it was a lot longer than that, come out with a better coil, right? Or a 5,000 come out with 5,000 better coils for Coiltech and Nugget Finder. But MineLab really don't. They want to, they want to sell you the 14-inch coil. So, yeah. Are we going to get a Coiltech coil for the 7,000? Nothing would surprise me, Craig. Probably. It has got a chip in the coils, Johnny, like the 7. Now, the 7,000 coils won't fit on the 6,000 either. So, yeah. Can I pronounce your surname? Yes, I can, Detectable. Bull. That's where we'll go. Please explain the patches on my shirt. Well, that's a question I haven't had in a while. This is a Eureka patch. The Battle of the Eureka Battle, I suppose. Then I've got some ATX. Oh, Garrett ATX and Garrett's search team. And then AT Gold and AT Pro. These are the old shirts. These shirts have been around for a while, these ones. The new ones have just got Gold Diggers and Golden Spur Mining on them. So, yeah. So there you go, Amanda. Yeah, over on YouTube. So, Trina Marie, the girls did well. Oh yes, the girls took over. I've been away a little bit, and the girls took over they took over the Facebook page. Natalie and Nadia did a couple of live streams. Yeah, they did a good job. Yeah, they did take the mickey out of me a fair bit, which is fine. So, yeah. So, yeah. Nevin asked the Facebook question there. I'm not going to talk about that. Were you at the lease on the weekend? No, I tried to ring you, Wade. I was not at the lease on the weekend. I drove out Friday with my young bloke. I saw you there, and I thought it was you. I was almost going to pull up, say good day, but I didn't get a chance. So, right. Okay, I'm drifting, talking rubbish here. So, no more questions about the 6,000. Well, you can ask questions about the 6,000 all you like. So we got to talk about John Caesar here, John Black Caesar. Right, let's get a bit of a picture going here of Caesar and get on with it, because I've been rumbling on for no reason at all. Well, lots of reason, but yeah. Now, I haven't actually got a picture of John Caesar. I've forgotten to put the picture up of Black Caesar. So we can sort that out in a hurry here and get that picture going there. Here we go. Okay. Why won't that work? Oh, there it is there. Oh, sorry, guys. I just need to get this picture up. This is the bloke in question. Here we go. There he is. Let me just push him down the hill a little bit there. We'll push Johnny down there. There we go. There we go. And we'll just transition that across. And we'll be laughing, and then I'll disappear in front of him. So, John Caesar, the first Australian bushranger. Black Caesar, African descent, born Madagascar. It's believed, now there's some doubt about that, some people talk about the West Indies, and was sentenced to transportation 3rd of March 1786. So this bloke's on the First Fleet. He stole 12 quid, which is probably a lot of money a lot of money in those days, sort of thing. So 7 years he got. He spent some time on the Sirius in the Thames, which was the prison hulk. The Sirius has got actually quite a decent history. So we might do that one night. So he arrived. The First Fleet arrived 19th of January, of course, in Botany Bay. So 19th of January. When the First Fleet arrived, not the 26th, of course. So, yes, so 19th of January. Now, you've got to imagine, you've got to put yourself back in the time, right? They arrived, and it was a whole new ball game. They didn't know how to grow, food in enough quantity. They had limited rations. A lot of these prisoners, right, were on half rations or quarter rations. Now, so that drove a lot of them to steal for food, right? Steal food, right? So this led to a lot of theft in the new colony, right? So this led the trail of our friend John Caesar, and he got caught 3 or 4 times scarping off into the bush trying to knock off food from the Aborigines and other settlers. Okay, so 1790, right? 1790, January 1790, he escaped in a canoe, taking a gun. Lasted 8 days. Back, right? No luck, right? He clearly got sentenced further and further and further. Eventually, Governor Phillip sent Caesar in the Supply, the ship the Supply, to Norfolk Island, where he was basically given a plot of land and basically set free. One of the highlights of his time on Norfolk Island, he was given a hog. Yes, that's right, a hog, like every man needs a hog, and basically just spent a few years there. Had a child with one of the other prisoners, and basically ended up back in Botany Bay or Sydney. Okay. Now, the story of Caesar's life ended, right, today, actually, 15th of February, 1796, after a bounty was put on his head. A bounty hunter by the name of John Wimbo. Shot Caesar dead at Strathfield, which was called Liberty Plains at the time. So, fantastic little bit of history. First bushranger in Australia. One of the very, very few African descendant prisoners sent from the UK, from Britain. He was originally, before he went to Britain, he was a slave on a sugar farm, I believe. That's the story. So yeah, I actually spent a little bit of time looking at the prison hulks and how they were used and all that sort of thing. That's a bit of a fascinating story, a bit of a history about them too. So we might jump into that. So that's Caesar. Our first ever bushranger died today, 1796. So that's Johnny Caesar. So there we go. Right, so I'm missing a whole stack of comments here. Whole stack of comments and stuff here. Yeah, so fingers were chopped off if you stole anything, Jake says. All the 10 year if you think she had fingers missing. Yes, it is. All worked at a sawmill. Yes, well, there is that too. So, Beck got a 0.85 grammer in the pay dirt. Well done, Beck. It's a nice little bit. So, yeah, Sam Poo, the bushranger. We're doing a story on Sam Poo when. I can probably tell you when we're doing Sam Poo. Sam Poo is a cool story too. Sam Poo. Where is Sam? Sam. Sam will happen later in the year. I can't find him there. And I know the moment I stop looking, I will find him. But he is one of my favourites too. He is in December. I believe Sam Poo met his maker 19th of December, 1865. We're going to get into Sam Poo. So, in the end of December, we're going to get into Sam Poo. So, have a good look at him. So, Hobo hasn't got his pay dirt yet. I have to have a look at that because you just made a comment and I don't know what the girls did there. So, yes. Winnie's dodgy second cousin. Jamie, that's very clever. Sam Poo is Winnie the Pooh's second cousin. Well done. All right. Yes, we got the Birdman coming back and we got Thunderbolt coming back. We've got Michael Howe and Ned Kelly and George Palmer and some odd ones, you know. Moondine Joe, all sorts. Martin Cash, all the big names and all the names you don't necessarily hear. I've tried to get into it. There's 3 lady bushrangers that we're going to go with. So, yeah. So, Gavin, map printing is going well. We're getting the map printing happening. We've just got to check out some copyright issues. I've printed some very, very good maps for myself. So I'm very, very excited about this map printing. It will be outstanding. So if you've just joined us, a lot of people have just come on. If you've just joined us, all you need to do is make a comment to go into the price. We've got a loop. This loop turns on. It's a very bright loop. Can't see it there. Look, it's got a little that thing. Jesus, that is bright. And I think one's UV. It's supposed to be UV and one's supposed to be normal light. 2 different magnifications in a cool little case. And then $30 for these guys because they're a cool little thing. I struggle to, yeah. So they're 30 times magnification and 60 times magnification. So they're very, very handy at looking at fines. Coins, gold, doesn't matter. all that sort of thing. Then the pick holder. So the pick holder, this is got a little clip on it, right? Clips on, belt or back of the harness. I put it on the back of the harness on mine. And pick slides through. Okay, so they're fantastic. They're $40, made by the man with two names, Mitch, two first names, I should say. Constant viewer of the show, but yeah, if you're looking for a good little pick holder, these are sensational. Speaking of picks, pink picks are in stock, ready to rock and roll. As always, we always have pink picks in stock. So I've hit myself on the side of the head with the pick. Pink picks, all the money goes to, all the profits that we would normally make go to breast cancer. Breast cancer. So, if you're looking for a real pick, right, get one that supports breast cancer. I make no coin out of it. Nice wide pick. Nice sharp tip on it. So if you're looking for a good pick, get one that supports breast cancer and run around the bush with a pink pick. So, yeah, very, very high grade. I should do the sales pitch on it. Very, very high grade steel. The highest grade on the market. These picks will not wear down like other picks do, no matter the harsh use they get. And this is a design of the size and the bend and the length and that I love. That's basically what I love. It's got a little bit more rake in it. It's just a nice pick. I am not auctioning a pink pick because that turns into a disaster. But thank you. So, the duck, Swanson the duck. The duck is still at the lease. He's driving most people insane because he sits by the fire there, he's annoying. So he's not that annoying, but he's annoying enough. So he takes up a space by the fire. Here's a token piece of gold. I like to bring you a piece of gold. I love this bit of gold here. Lots of ironstone and quartz mess. Yes. So I like to call it messed up gold. It is very, very cool. If I move that, I'm going to have to change the focus. But it is a lovely, lovely specimen of what gold can do through quartz and ironstone and all sorts of other stuff there. Not too sure how much gold's in this one. It's well over an ounce. That's a 50 gram bit. So with all the bits in there, it's heavy. So it's a decent size piece. So, but anyway, I like to show you a piece of gold every night. So every night I'm here. Right. So let's go. So what have we got on next? So let's talk about errors. Okay. Now I've only picked a few errors out. Okay? I can't obviously do all the errors. There's a couple of things I love. Renix, coin and banknote values, right? This is the 30th edition. I don't know when this came out, actually. 2020. So there'll be a new one this year. Every year they come out. I don't know why. I got a hardcover one. I think my last cover got ripped. But this is coin and banknote values, right? Absolutely no good for errors, okay? So we're going to have a look at errors tonight more than this. But for you coin and relic guys, right, gives you all the values of the coins, okay? So pre-decimals, they're, here's some 1937 coins, values, right? Fantastic books. Renix, get them online. We don't sell them, right? But Renix also do Australian and pre-decimal errors, okay? This is a fascinating book, right? And basically what it does, it gives you a picture of the error, how the error happened, right? And then some, and then some values, right? So of what they're worth. So when you find a coin and you're not quite sure and it's a bit strange, right? This is the book, right? So let's just have a look at a couple of errors. Now, there's a couple of common, not common, but there's a couple of errors that come up all the time. And we're going to just have a look at them one by one, right? So the first one is double strike, right? So all that's happened there, right, is that coin hasn't left the die, so it's got thumped by the die. The coin's supposed to pop out of the die, and it didn't quite make it out. It gets thumped again. Now, double strikes can be like this, like a real decent double strike, right? Or they can be just slightly off centre. So if you've got anything that looks a bit like this, right, and or you've got one that's slightly off, right, you need to have a really, really good look at it. Okay, now let me just duck back here to some of these comments. So, Coral, yes, if you want to send me a photo of a coin, we probably don't have time to do 50 coins, but if you do want to come in and have a look at this book's in our library, so if you want to have a look at this book or the other one, feel free. But yes, we can't do 10,000 coins, but we will help where we can. Right. Yes, they're called Renix guides. If Paul was asking, they're Renix. This one's probably the easiest one. It's got a bigger Renix on it. No, they both got the same. Renix. Renix have got a website. They do them all there. Right? So, let's talk about, okay, so that was a double strike. Okay? This one here is just a miss strike. Okay? So your piece of metal, there's a proper name for it, but we don't worry about proper names here. Your piece of metal falls into the die, right? And it's supposed to sit flat in the die. A miss strike is where it's sat off on the edge a little bit. It hasn't quite gone into the die, right? There you go. Someone said it there. Alan, planchets, blanks, right? It hasn't quite sat in the centre, and therefore you've got this business happening. So if you've got a single strike, but it's slightly off centre or something's not quite right with it, planchet, there you go. You want to be very, very careful. You want to send me a photo of those bad boys. So, yeah, but that's misstrike. Okay, so there's lots of $2 coins that are misstrikes, absolutely, right? So then, this is my favourite, of course, the double obverse reverse, right? Where the dies have gone in wrong, and you get a double-sided coin, a double heads coin or a double tails coin, okay? So that is obviously been mucked up, and yes. So these are extremely rare. There's some 5 cents floating around that go for sort of thousands of dollars that have got printed both sides. There's also some 50s. I think the 50 with the sail on it, I should have a look in the book. The 50 with the sail on it was a whatchamacallit? Yeah. 50 with the sail on it. I think it was 50 with the sail on it. No. So, like, you get stacks of them, right? So, see how, you know, there's stacks and stacks of different ones. 2 cent coins all the way through sort of thing. These are quite rare, though, some of these. The ram's head on both sides, right? So, if you want to get into it, this is the book for you, right? Errors. Renix. Right? Inclusive Millennium 50 cents. See, people are using terms here I'm not quite familiar with, but nothing new there. So, right. Wavy 20, mule stoke dollar. There's heaps and heaps and heaps. So I'm not going to go into detail. We're going to get into some of the specific ones on another show. We've got another show coming up about coins. We're going to get into that. So we've also done a whole series on talking coins on YouTube that I haven't even looked to see whether it got any traction, but I think we talked about some errors there as well at one stage. So, but yeah, these detectors out in the park, don't just bang your $2 coins and your dollar coins or your 5-cent coins in a bag and forget about them. But yes, so that's fantastic. Now, I feel so disjointed today. I don't know why. I haven't organised myself very, very well tonight. So, because I've just remembered something else I haven't loaded a photo on, but I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, and we're going to get on here and monitor share. I saw today the best 100-year-old buckle I think I've ever seen, right? And it was Vernon, right? Here we go. Have a look at this bad boy, right? So, New South Wales Military Forces belt buckle, slight twist in it, right? Still some gilding on it, but absolutely fantastic quality buckle, right? Northern New South Wales somewhere, right? Didn't exactly tell me where. And had basically the whole uniform of buckles and flashes and, just an incredible buckle. That buckle felt solid. You could run a bit of leather through that and wear it today. So, absolutely sensational. I haven't seen a buckle that good for years and years and years. So, well done, Vernon. Vernon puts the hours in. He puts lots and lots of hours in. But, I tell you, he's on it. So, and that was just a chance find that he thought was a dump. But that is a quality buckle, that fella. So, there we go. So, very, very interesting. But basically found the whole uniform. Oh, well, not obviously there was no leather, no fabric, none of that left. It was just buttons, suspender buckles, belt buckles, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, that's an awesome one, that one. So, 1870s-ish, yeah. It's a, but we suspected he was a transition. Okay, so prior 1901, prior Federation, every state had their own military force, right? Then, in 1901, they all became the Australian military force, right? So he had, this uniform was, if we assume it's a one complete uniform, right, he had the buttons were Australian military, so after 1901, but the buckle was pre-1901. So there's so he's a transition one. Either that or he served in both. I don't know. So yeah. So Vernon just smashed that one. I couldn't believe it when he showed me the buckle. That's a 100-and-something-year-old buckle. That's incredible. That is so. Yeah, so Vernon brought him in today. He loves bringing him in and showing him. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Now, what else have we got here to talk about? Looks like we've got a bit of time up our sleeve. So if you've got some question, now's the time. We'll answer some questions. Don't forget, Daylight Helpline. All right, that's the number to call if you've got questions. Daylight Helpline. Not only that, Detector Pro Tips, right? Detector Pro Tips. If you're not quite sure how to run your machine, send us a text message on that number and we will photograph our Detector Pro Tips and we will send it directly out to you tomorrow. How we run the machine. Okay? So, Any questions at all, we're here to help. I don't care whether you're a customer or not. If you're part of the Gold Diggers family, the Gold Digger Nation, right, pick up the phone. Talk to one of the guys. We should be able to help you out and get you sorted. My goal here is to get you guys finding more stuff. If I can help with that, right, that's what we're doing. Right, so, do you know of any decent sort of coin dealers, Nick? Nick asked if I need any decent coin dealers in Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Nick, mate, you really need to know what you're talking about, right? I don't know of a decent coin dealer. But if you don't know what you're talking about and you go into a coin dealer and say, is that worth anything? Most coin dealers I've been to, I'm not saying all of them, right? Most coin dealers would say, no, that's not worth anything. I'll give you $5 for it, right? Could be $1,000 coin, right? You've really got to know what you're talking about when you're selling stuff secondhand when you don't know the values, right? That's where these books are invaluable. These books sit out the front of my shop and you're more than welcome to come in and have a look at them, mate. So be very, very careful selling some of this stuff, particularly errors and what have you, if you've got no idea what the what you're selling, sort of thing. Gregory Harvey, was it Greg? No. Gavin Rawson, what's the strangest question asked to you? Someone asked me. It was only a couple of weeks ago. Someone asked me the question on the live stream here, why isn't this translated into Arabic? It was just, I don't know. That was the strangest question I've ever had. Why isn't this live stream translated into Arabic? That was a bit bizarre. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, Arabic. I don't know. Now, the I do need to get to the bottom of that. I saw about half an hour ago about there's some trouble at the free camp at Carrara. Is talking about being closed down. I don't know too much about that, but we need to get into that and have a look at it. I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah. Tom, when will we see NQ Explorers on the show again? NQ Explorers are a regular feature on this show. He did one just before Christmas, so, you know, we get him on 3 or 4 times a year, so March, April, something like that. So we'll get him there. Don't worry about that. Yeah. So, yeah. So, Stephen Davies got 1.6 grams, including a 0.8 gram nugget. Good work, mate. Right, let me just scroll up and see if we can find some more questions. Get into some questions. We can, yeah, we'll get into some more of these questions. Someone asked there, does the book include dollar roux errors, rabbit ears, all that sort of stuff? It does, yeah. It does include all that stuff in here. There's die issues, there's mules, there's all sorts of mystery stuff. Flaws in the planchet where the something wrong with the planchet, die errors, you know, all sorts of stuff. Outside collars. There's so much stuff in this book. Wrong metal strikes are pretty cool. So, like when a 10-cent coin planchet die thing goes into the dollar thing, so you get a dollar stamped on a silver coin. They're pretty cool. There's some of my favourite errors, like a 20-cent coin on a 50-cent coin thing. You know, so there's some cool stuff. There's no, yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff in there. So there's everything, all the errors are in there. So, right. Sold 2015 rabbit ears yesterday for $5. There you go. Sam, well done. I am looking for sovereigns. I've got a special purpose for sovereigns. So, anyway. New South Wales Roadshow. Wow, that would be interesting. So, yeah. Is gold as good as cash for purchase? If you're talking about this shop, yes, we do. Natural nuggets, not melted down, none of that stuff, not jewelry. Yeah. Someone asked when beach training day is. Well, I'm just trying to finalise that. I've been slack. Beach training will be happening in the next month. Definitely in the next month. Yeah, definitely in the next month. And it's going to be big. We're going to have an open day down there as well. So we're going to bring some machines down, some beach machines down, show people how they work on the beach. You'll be able to come along and have a ball. Right, guys. So just don't forget, you've got about 2 minutes before we give away the magnifier, okay, loop magnifier, and our pick holder. Okay, so we're going to draw that very, very shortly, and we'll go and we'll get going. So just while we've got you here, let me just scroll over here and have a look and what we're talking about next week. So next week, we're going to be doing a bit of gold panning. We're going to look at the Bathurst gold discovery. So Bathurst gold discovery was 15th of the 2nd, 1883. So that was today, but we had too much on today. So we're going to look at Bathurst next week. So Bathurst region gold discovery. We're going to do some gold panning. We're going to pull up a page. We're going to have a look at a specific detector next week. And we're also going to do a find of the week. So it's going to be a big, big, big week next week. So we just need to get that happening. So, right, guys, I'm going to close the competition off. So you've got the last moments. I'm just firing it up now just firing it up now to get the competition up and going. Here we go. Let's have a look here. Let's get these page loaded. Sorry, guys. We'll just get it going here. And just hang on a tick. Now, one of these is going to be from YouTube. One of these is going to be from Facebook. Yes. So yes, we just got to get this. It's not operating correctly. It's not operating correctly. It will though. We're trying to get my my beautiful wife to come in and give me a hand on a Monday night. That would be a fantastic thing. Don't know whether we're going to talk her into it, but we'll see what happens. Righto, let's go. It's working now. So, now we've got the loop. The loop we'll do to YouTube. We'll run the YouTube, the steam-driven random generator. I forget what Warren calls it now. For the loop. And we'll push the button now, and it goes to Rocco Scott. Rocco Scott, congratulations, mate. You will have to contact me after the show, Rocco Scott. You've got the loop. Now, for the Facebook, for the pick holder. Pick holder goes out to Paul Parker. Paul Parker from Casino. Congratulations, Paul. I will contact you after the show and get this out to you. So, guys, thanks very much for joining us this week. We've got a big show next week, Gold Discovery, lots of prizes, all that sort of jazz. So stick with us for next week and have a great time this week, guys. Go and find some stuff. And if you need help, helpline, email address, contact me. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks guys for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe and call us on the Daylight Helpline. See you next time.